Cloquet into the circle there. Push it down into the far corner. Declan picks up the puck. It's taken away at the blue line. Cloquet walking in. Shot. That goes over the net. Shot saved by Jace. Shot. That goes wide, far side. Okay, trying to pinch. Griffin is able to poke check it past him. Okay, right back into the zone. That shot wide. Sent back to the point. Side steps. Centers. Nobody home. Rails finally get that. Try to clear. It's held in at the point. Shot wired off the crossbar. That's popped right back out. Cloquet tries to go back to the point. Nobody home. Will intercepts. Sidesteps the player there. Gives it to Declan. Into the zone. 2-on-3. Still has possession. Shoveled on net. Shot. Save. Rebound. Goaltender covers. We're going to get an offensive zone draw after that little flurry. Brecken wins this faceoff right on net. Reset dude again. Cloquet wins the draw. On behind, they chip it up. And Cloquet out of the zone. Miles takes that away just inside the line, but gives it back. Comes back out front, centered. Shot saved by Jace. Puck still floating around. He does find it. We get a line change here. 12:45 left in the first. Declan wins this one back. Gray goes to Matt. Intercepted and sent back in again. Gray goes around behind. Chips up the wall for Tony. Tony gets it out. Icing the indication. That's going to make it. With that whistle, we'll reset back in the Rails end. Declan on the draw here. Tony and Bria on the wings. Gray and Matt the points. It's won by Declan up to the point. Good battle at the blue line there. Down into the corner there. Tony has it, tries to chip it ahead. That's going to be intercepted just inside the line. Okay, wires a shot, gloved and held onto. Okay, comes away with it off the draw. Sent back, put out. Okay, go D to D. Just inside the Will intercepts. He's into the zone. Left-hand side shot. Save on the glove. Rebound loose. Cloquet pokes it to the line. It's held in by Brecken. Comes back out. Sent back in by Garrett. We'll get a whistle for the offsides. 11:53 left in the first and a neutral zone draw. Draw, one back by Brecken. Will sends it into the zone. Cloquet picks that up in behind. Sends it ahead. Miles can't quite hold it. He's on his backhand. He'll just dump this back into the zone. Offsides again. And they're going to say intentional offsides and put it all the way down. Back on this defensive zone draw. Cloquet kicked off the draw. Tony wins this one. Miles unable to corral. Shot blocked by Garrett last second there at the stick. Declan battling in the corner. Garrett has it, chips it up the wall. Sent back out front, intercepted by Brecken, and they're off to the races. Hook up to Tony on the left-hand side. He's in the zone. Centers all the way through. Max had his stick lifted before he could play it. Declan plays the body. Tries to go rink wide, intercepted. Cloquet out of the zone. Cloquet near side. Sidesteps one, dumps this into the zone. Played aside by Jace. This gets pushed in behind. Cloquet retreats all the way back out. They send it ahead, near side. Taken away by Declan just inside the line. He shoves it back out. Cloquet forced to regroup. Down into the zone. Far side. This gets shoved through the crease wide. Tony unable to chip it past him on the half wall. Okay, centers, tips, top of the circle, shot, blocker save, puck loose. Rebound ends up behind the net. Declan tries to sidestep a man, loses possession. Garrett will pick this up. Still battling for it down in the corner. Ahead, Max able to tip this one out of the zone. Cloquet rink wide, misses. That hits the linesman at the blue line. Cloquet able to corral though. Will with a poke check there, held in at the point, sent to the far corner. Great, circles. He's out of the zone. To neutralize, backhander down in, just wide of the net. Will gets a stick in there and he pulls the guy down. We're going to get a tripping call. Minute and a half for Will. And we'll get a defensive zone draw. 9:18 left in the first period and our first penalty kill of the game for the Rails. Brecken set to take this draw. Brecken wins it over to Matt. Matt chips it up. It's held in at the point. Comes back down at the half wall. It's taken away by Brecken. He'll survey. Sends it up. Held in at the point once more. D to D. Shot from just above the circle. That's tipped wide. Down to the half wall. They'll walk off the wall with it. Shot, rebound, pushed wide. Puck still loose. That's dumped out of the zone. Skittering along. Icing waved off. Cloquet forced to play. Bria puts the pressure on there. 51 left in that minor penalty. Matt steps up, holds the zone. Sidesteps. Poke checked off his stick. Brecken will just dump this back in. Bria hadn't touched up. We're going to call intentional offsides. Draw one back. Cloquet has possession. Near side corner. They'll play it back to the point. D to D. Steps up, wires a shot, gloved and held onto by Jace. Very nonchalant, he just hangs on. 29 seconds left in the minor penalty to Will, and we've got 8:16 left in the first. Draw one back by Cloquet. Shot from the point. That hits saved by Jace right off the stick. He forces it into the corner. Back up to the point. They try to go D to D. They will. This shot wired wide. Up to the point again. This shot low, tipped wide. A rebound attempt. Doesn't make it in on net. Puck squirts loose. Garrett has it there. 5 seconds left in the minor penalty to Will. This shot's fanned on. Cloquet in the slot. Misses. They've not got possession. Will's back on the ice. Sent back to the point. That's held. Sidesteps one. High slot. Shots and scores. Even strength goal for Cloquet puts them up 1-0. 7:32 left in the first. Duckman wins this draw. Tipped ahead by Gray. He's knocked down. Puck into the zone, but Cloquet reverses it. 3-on-2s. They cross the line with the trailer. Oh, but they were offsides. We've got a neutral zone draw here near the Rails bench. Check that. We're switching sides. Nope, there will be a neutral zone draw on the far side. Draw one back by Cloquet. Sent into the zone. Matt has possession. He retreats. Stops. Back up from the corner. Intercepted at the point. That shot's wired wide of the net. Tony has it on the far wall now. Sees his man. Fans on the clearing attempts. Doesn't quite get it out. Gray steps up. He's able to get it out. They'll send it down. That goes lengthwise. And icing the indication. 6:51 left in the first. We'll get a line change, or at least a partial line change here, and a defensive zone draw for the Rails. Reckon on this draw, it's one back by Cloquet. Back to the D, blocked shot from Will. They walk in, that shot goes off a Cloquet player. Max sends it to the wall. That comes up and out. We're going to call for a neutral zone draw on the far side there, as that was deflected out of play. Brecken wins the draw, keeps it himself, starts ahead. He gets across the red line, dumps it into the far corner. Brecken able to take it away there, tries to center, gets shoved down. Out to Max, just off the end of his stick. Cloquet starts back out with a head of steam. He'll pivot. Down into the circle, down to the slot. His shot goes wide of the net. Good defense there. Back up to the point. Will misses on a poke check. He'll skate down the half wall. Off the wall towards the net. Garrett battling for it there. That goes either behind the net or off the post and through the crease and wide. Cloquet sends it ahead. Proctor able to get it out of the zone. Will now has it right off the blue line, chips it ahead. Max lost sight of it there as it's poked off his stick. Cloquet able to recover, take it away. Cloquet crosses the line there. Garrett takes it away. Off the wall, Declan steps into it, loses, but Garrett will pick it back up. Garrett across the red line, dumps it in. Miles holds the zone there. Dump back down into the corner. Tony unable to grab. Cloquet with the rink-wide pass. Misses. Gray sends it ahead. Griffith able to push it forward. And Declan's into the zone. He'll chase this down into the corner. Help from Tony as it comes in behind. Cloquet chips it ahead and they're out of the zone. Rink wide pass intercepted by Declan. He curls. Pushes it off a player. Cloquet has possession again. They'll just dump it down into the corner. Gray, far side corner, chips it ahead. Griffin off the wall, kicked back in. Puck doesn't escape the zone there again. Cloquet down in the circle. That shot off a Matt's shin pad. Griffin over skates. Matt able to backhand this one out of the zone. Cloquet has it at neutral ice. Offsides as they enter the zone. 12 over here and stepped in a step early on the fan entering attempt. Neutral zone draw with 4:22 left in the first. Cloquet wins that draw. Down the far side wall. Around behind to the near side post point. Comes around the corner. Centering attempt, makes it to the tip and makes it to the near side. They go D to D. That shot wired in, hits a body out front. That was Brecken that knocked that into the corner. Gray takes his man down. Brecken steps up and clears the puck. That's going to make it all the way for icing. 3:46 left in the first, and we're going to another defensive zone draw for the Rails. Brecken on the draw here. He wins that back to Garrett. Chipped out of the zone. Cloquet circles at their own blue line, sends it ahead. Sidesteps, shot, that flutters. That hit a stick. Miles will pick that up. Headman pass hits Will in stride. They're 3-on-2s, they cross. Will down in, tries to go all the way across. Right off of Bria's stick, a little behind her. Cloquet starts back out. Garrett angles his man off the wall. Still battling for the puck. Cloquet down into the corner. Miles able to force it wide. Wraparound attempts. Saved and smothered by Jace. Draw one back by Cloquet. They get a shot. That's wide of the net. Cloquet still have possession, far side corner. Battling there. They walk out of the corner with it. Backhand shot saved by Jace. Poked out in front. Tony has it. He exits the zone. Far side. He'll dump it in just outside the blue line. Tony picks a pocket, shot, that's off the goaltender. He's knocked down. Declan battling for it on the half wall. He's got possession. He wires a shot. That's off the goaltender as well. Shots from Declan and Tony there. Held onto by Cloquet goaltender. 2:38 left in the first. We'll get an offensive zone draw for the Rails. That's one back by Brecken. Miles from the point. Wires a shot. That goes wide of the net. Gray goes hard into the end wall. Will steps up. Shot. Kick saved by the goaltender. Cloquet picks up the puck. Rink wide pass is intercepted, but they still have possession. Two neutralized. Dumped in on net. Stick save from Jace. He's just going to cover that. And with that whistle, we've got 2:14 left in the first and a defensive zone draw for the Rails. Brecken's set to take this draw here. Will picks it up out of the corner. Will able to get out of the zone, loses possession. Lumberjacks circle, send it back out. That's dumped into the corner. That'll ring around near side. Miles takes his man out there. Will, headman pass, springs Brecken. Brecken out of the zone. Into the offensive zone. He'll push this to the corner. Battling there, takes his man into the wall. Centers, that's a shot off the goal. Stick save from the goaltender. Battling in behind. Puck squirts free. Cloquet has it on the far half wall. As they start ahead, rink wide, they hit some man in stride. Down the near side wall here. Good pressure from Miles. Centered out front and scored. .124 left in the first period. Cloquet extends their lead to 2. Draw one back by Cloquet. Battling forward is Bria. Declan steps up now. Bria trip as she tries to get to it. No call. Cloquet back out of the zone. Lead pass does connect. Side steps. They're off sides as they dump it back in. Cloquet wins the draw. Walks down into the slot. Toe drag. Puck loose. Chase able to find it. He takes the man out. Credited with a save there. Declan, defensive zone draw here. Cloquet tries to muscle it away, but Declan takes it. Puck does get out of the zone. Cloquet forced the touch up. We'll dump it back in. Mac takes this one. Up to neutral ice. He'll backhand this into the zone and go chase. Takes a look as he gets around behind. Tries to center. Hits the back of the net. Cloquet with now possession now up the far wall. Rink wide pass hits Max. Cloquet able to step into this, and they're in the zone on sides. Down into the slot. Shot, kick, save, rebound over skated. Cloquet holds the point. They walk down into the slot here. Shot off the post. Up the wall there. Declan takes his man out. Mac gets possession. Chips the puck ahead to Bria. Bria chips it off the wall and out. Cloquet forced to play in behind their own net. 22 seconds left in the first. Rink wide pass, clears the zone. Matt has it at neutral ice. He surveys as he backs up. Rink wide to Gray. Gray tries to play it ahead. Does get it to just too far for Max. Bria spins her man at neutral ice. They're into the zone on sides. Good poke check there. Matt picks it up on the wall. Ahead to Bria. Bria hits the referee. And as time expires in the first period, Rails trailing by 2. Total shots for Cloquet in that period, 8 for a first period save total of 6 for Jace. Total shots for Cloquet for Proctor of 4 for a first period save total of 4 for the Lumberjack goaltender. Taking a 1-minute break and we'll be right back. All right, 15 minutes on the clock. Second period about to start. Brecken wins this one over to Will. It's taken away. Cloquet into the zone, offsides. Neutral zone draw just 6 seconds into the period. Cloquet wins this one back. Circle at the red line. Off a skate. Into the zone now, onsides. Centering attempt off of Garrett. Griffin sends it ahead, but it's held in. Miles in behind. He picks this one up on the backhand. Out front for Brecken. Griffin on the wall. Brecken also, he's able to get it out. Cloquet D to D on the blue line there. They cycle and head forward. Just inside the zone, Miles tips this back out. Will bumped as he tries to get ahead. This comes with squirts free to Garrett. Garrett will go over to Griff. Griff starts ahead. Into the zone, tries to backhand one over to Brecken, but it just missed. Cloquet neatly out of the zone. Into the offensive zone. They're 2-on-2. Good stick work there from Miles. Gets it away. Tony picks this up. Tries to backhand over to Brecken, but that's intercepted on the way. Cloquet now just dumps it into the zone. That hops Garrett's stick. Miles will retreat to pick it up. Backhander ahead to Griffin. He can't handle it. Down into the near side circle. Cloquet walks off the circle with it there, off the pad. Saved from Jace, and he holds it against the post. We're going to get a whistle, 13:28 left in the second period, and a defensive zone draw for the Rails. Draw one by Cloquet. Good kick save there from Jace. Puck still loose. Puck pops free. Matt has it. Matt starts out of the zone. He's got Tony with him. He'll chip it in and chase. Matt down into the corner, sends it out front. Just hops over to Tony's stick. Cloquet backhands this one high out of the zone. Declan covering up. He goes rink wide, hits Tony in stride. Tony sidesteps one. Battling, loses the puck there. Cloquet will send it into the zone. Gray dumped into the wall there from behind. That shot was going wide. Jace snags it and hangs on. We'll get a defensive zone draw here. Draw. One possessed by Gray. Gray tries to chip it out. It's held in at the point. Matt chips this back up the half wall. Cloquet intercepts. Down in behind. Taken away by Declan. He's tripped in the corner. No call. Taken away by Gray. Back down to the corner. Declan will circle into the corner. Fires this up the wall. Max chips. Doesn't get it out. Matt now has. He sends this one high. So flip into the offensive zone. Tony trying to stick with there and unable to get the puck free. Rink wide pass from Cloquet, and they are back into the zone onside. Curling at the half wall. Down to the slot. Shot gloved and held onto by Jace. 11:59 left in the second period. We'll get a line change for the Rails and a defensive zone draw to Jace's right. Jacks win this one. That's tipped wide. Brecken with it on the far wall. Chipping. Will battling. Does get it out of the zone. Jacks regain possession, and they're in on sides. Down to the far side circle. Surveying. Centered. Backhand shot wide of the net. Jack still with possession in behind. Wraparound attempt thwarted by Will. Rebound attempt found by Jace, and he'll melt that one down for another face-off. Draw one by Brecken. Miles tries to clear. It's held in at the point. Down into the slot. Shot. That's wired over the net. Cloquet with possession. Let's send it right back into the slot there. Bouncing around. Clears to the far wall and out. Lumberjacks chip this one back into the zone. Walks past the man. Down into the slot. Pass. Bobbled. Backhand this one into the slot. One-time slap shot and scores. Cloquet extends their lead to 3. Lumberjacks win this one. Tony steals it though, down into the slot. Shot right into the breadbasket there. Jack's goaltender hangs on, forces the offensive zone draw for the Rails. Jack's control off the draw, sent back to the point. Gray able to hold. Declan walks off the wall, down into the high slot, fires off a shin pad. Gray steps up, holds temporarily, but now the puck's out. Jack's in down the near side. Centered, taken away by Gray. Puck ends up on net. Get a save for Jace on that. And he smothers. 10:27 left in the second period. Jack's in this one. That shot off a boot. Sent up the wall, held in at the point. Fanned on the shot though. Comes down. Gray now has it. He chips it ahead. That's still held in at the point. This shot goes to the far side corner. Matt, the first one on it. Sends it ahead. That's intercepted. He'll send this around behind. Puck held in once more. Sent across, shot from the circle, gloved and dropped. Matt sends this up the wall. Tony has it. He's able to get it out of the zone. Forces the play there. Jack's touch up, and they're right back in again. Down into the circle. Shot, kick save from Jace, taken away by Declan. Declan goes far side, and he's out. He'll dump this in as soon as he crosses the line. Lead pass does get the Jacks out. They pick up the puck and they're down into the near side. Shot from the circle. Save from Jace. Puck squirting out towards the front of the net. Sent to the near side, held in at the point. This is sent down low and intercepted by Garrett, and he's out. Garrett carries into the offensive zone, fires off a skate. Battling for it in the corner now. Has it, sends it out front. That's off the goaltender. Rebound attempt from Tony. Backhander scored. Garrett scores on the rebound on the original shot from Tony. The Rails are finally on the board. 8:53 left in the second period. They have reduced the deficit to 2. Score now 3-1. Jacks win this draw. Down in, shot and scored. Just like that. Off the rush, beats Jace. Brecken runs this one back 2 miles. It's chipped ahead. Jacks have it. Try to go rink wide. That goes off a skate. Max tries to step into that. That's sent to the line. Garrett now sends it ahead. Icing waved off. Jacks will be forced to play in behind their own net. This gets sent around the wall. Garrett thinks better of trying to pinch there. Rink wide pass doesn't quite connect, but the Jacks just offside as that puck eluded the winger on the far side. That whistle, we're going to get a neutral zone draw here with 8:11 left in the second. Draw one back by the Jacks. Sent down into the corner. Matt picks this up. Down into the slot. Backhander, that goes wide of the net. Matt battling there, forces the puck into the corner. Sent rink wide. Top of the circle, they go D to D. He walks down the wall, circles. Backhand play to himself. Chips this one. Down that side of the net, sent out front. That's cleared, but not out. Shot into on net. Saved and smothered by Jace. Defensive zone draw for the Rails. Jace is left. Brecken wins this one over the mat. He's going to circle in behind his net. Reverses up to Will. Puck bouncing around. A shot pushed wide. Sent back in by Cloquet. Puck's still stuck in the corner there. Cloquet walks off the wall with it. Poke check from Matt, takes it away. Gray chips it up the wall, but that's collected by Cloquet. Into the high slot. To the point. Spin move down the wall. Into the circle. That shot, kick, save. Rebound, still bouncing around. Griff has it now. He gets tripped. Puck squirts free on net. Save from Jace. That's 3 or 4 trips now from Cloquet that have been called. Brecken wins this one over to Garrett. Sent to the point but held in. Kick save from Jace. Down in the corner. Jacks have it. Shot. Intercepted by Miles. Handed to Will. And Will will start back out. Will, rink wide. Just misses. Puck comes to the point there. Held in by Miles. He wings this one in. Kick save. Cloquet has possession up to the point. Miles steps up. He'll hold the zone. Sent back down to the corner. Tip. Back up to the point. Miles tries to hold. Puck does squirt free. Garrett will be the first one on it. Circles inside his own end. Off the wall. Hits Griff. Griff down into the zone. Just on sides. Will now has. He centers. Brecken bumped off the puck. Cloquet starts back out. 2-on-2s. They cross neutral ice. Into the zone. They're on sides. Sidesteps one. Down into the high slot. Puck loose. Bouncing around. Brecken's going to send this off the far wall. This will make it all the way down. Icing the call. 5:04 left in the second period here. Rails trailing by 3. And the defensive zone draw upcoming. Draw one to the point. Cloquet has possession. Try to go rink wide here, down. Cloquet with possession alongside the net, taken away by Declan. Sent back out front. Gray now has. He chips this ahead. Hits Tony. Max unable to sidestep the defenseman there. Sent back ahead. Gray will hold this one out of the zone. The Cloquet picks it up and into the zone. Now they go. Into the slot. Shot. Glove save from Jace. Cloquet wins this one. Top of the circle. Shot blocked. Max takes his man out on the wall. Gray battling for it. It's underneath the Cloquet player on the wall here. Gray goes down. Max walks away with it. Chips it ahead. It's held in at the point temporarily. Oh, it does stay in. Cloquet walks in. Down to the slot. Shot. That goes wide of the net. Declan will pick this one up. Circles. Backhander is held in. Sidesteps one. Down into the circle. Poke check from Matt. Takes it away. Max is going to chip this ahead and out. Tony skates into it. He's got one to beat. Down into the offensive zone. Tries to thread the needle. It's taken away. Cloquet comes back the other way. They're 4-on-3 as they cross the blue line. Matt takes this one away on the half wall. Chips it ahead. Hits the Cloquet player. He's got possession down into the slot. Chipped ahead. Max now gets it. Max crosses the red line. Chips this into the zone. He's rubbed out onto the wall. Cloquet sets up behind their own goal. Rink wide pass held in by Miles. He'll take a one-time shot in on net, saved and held onto. We're going to get an offensive zone draw for the Rails. 3:10 left in the second. Draw one back by Cloquet. Around behind. That's chipped up out of the zone. Garrett has possession, throws at his own blue line off the wall. Cloquet sends it back ahead. Garrett surveys. Hard pass. Cloquet stays onside, doesn't go into the zone. Puck checked away there. They take possession once more. And as they try to get into the zone, they're whistled offsides. Neutral zone draw here with 2:34 left in the second. Brecken wins this one. It's taken away. Will, the backhand pass, that's intercepted. They drop back to the B, rink wide. Off a stick. Will able to chip that ahead. Bria steps into it. She shovels this one towards the middle. Puck squirts to the far wall. Bria battling for it there. She's able to take it away. Tries to center. Cloquet takes that puck and they're out of zone. Rink wide pass hits the man in stride. Miles steps into him, takes it away. Brecken now out of the zone. Puck checked away from him. Cloquet able to dump it back in. Miles, though, takes it away, sends it ahead, held in at the point. Puck still bouncing around. Cloquet steps into that one. They're down into the circle. Shoveled in on net. Kick save from Jace. It's rebound pushed wide. Back to the point. Chipped free by Bria. That makes it all the way down. Icing the indication. 1:30 left in the second period. We're going to get a line change and a defensive zone draw for the Rails. Going to reset and redo that draw. Declan moves this over to Matt. He sends it back into the corner. Griffin with it on the wall. He's taken down. And we're finally going to get a tripping call. Number 3 is going to go for Cloquet. Minor penalty for tripping. 1:14 left in. 1:14 left in the second period. Rails go to the power play. Let's see if we can capitalize here. And Cloquet wins that draw. Up to the point. Skips over Gray's stick. Miles recovers. Starts ahead. Into the zone, onside. Shot from the high slot. Kick save. On into the corner. 55 seconds left. Brecken walks off the wall, loses possession. Garrett scrambling for it. Miles holds the point. Sends this one down. He's tripped, no call. Cloquet starts ahead. Down into the far side circle. He curls, surveys. Sends this down into the corner. Miles pick it up in behind the net, chips it off the wall. Cloquet just off the bench, holds the zone. Sidesteps one, down into the circle. Tries to turn the corner, around behind. Wraparound attempts, smothered. Chipped out, Garrett battling for it there. Cloquet resets and they're back into the zone. Taken away by Miles in the circle, sent ahead, held in. Cloquet tries to go rink wide, goes through everybody. Gray chips it ahead, it's held in and dumped right back into the corner. 2 seconds left. One. And that'll do it for the second period. Rails now trail 4-1 after 2. Second period shots for Cloquet. 5 for a second period shot to save total for Jace of 2, 3, 3. Second period. Second period shot total for the Rails of 2 for a second period save total for Cloquet at 1. All right, 15 minutes on the clock. Back to the start of the third period. Declan on the opening draw here. Rails still has 16 seconds left on the power play. That draws one by Declan over to Griff. Down into the slot. Tony taken out as he tries to make a play. Cloquet recovers in the corner. Dump it ahead. It's out of the zone. Puck still bouncing around. 1 second left, and that ends the minor penalty for the Lumberjacks. Matt sends this ahead, tipped by Griff, but intercepted by the Jacks. They'll circle, dump it back down from their own blue line. Matt picks this one up, gets to the red line, dumps it in. Icing in the indication. He was at the red line. Declan wins this one over to, or Brecken wins this one over to Miles. Center on the far corner, chipped ahead. Cloquet with it at the top of the circle. Backhander, sent ahead by Will. He hands over to Brecken. Brecken in zone, fires this one just wide. Cloquet in behind. Bria takes it away there. Still battling for it. Jack's able to start back out. To the neutral ice. Miles able to hold that one out of the zone. Jacks do get it in, but it's sent right back out again. Lumberjacks circle at the red line. Dumped ahead. Miles takes that away, chips it out. Brecken able to pick that puck up. He's 1-on-2 with the trailer. Poke check from behind, takes that away. Bria picks it up at the red line. She'll just dump it into the corner. Rink wide play off the wall. Miles steps up. Battling for it there. Cloquet takes it away. Tony now has it. He backhands this one ahead. It does get out of the zone. Cloquet will circle. Start back ahead. Top of the circle there. That's fired wide of the net. Shipped back to the point. One-time shot misses. Brecken will pick it up on the half wall. Lead pass intercepted. Walking down the wall, the thing. Tony now circles out of the zone. 3-on-1 as they cross. Garrett there with it. He's tangled up. Puck held in at the point by Max. Garrett now walks down in top of the circle. That puck sent back to the point. Declan able to kick it, skate the stick. Hops over one. It's intercepted by Cloquet and taken back the other direction. Icing the indication they hadn't quite met the red line yet. They dump it all the way in. 12:20 left in the third period. We're going to get an offensive zone draw after the line change for the Rails. Okay, wins the draw. Lead pass, gets them into the zone, bumps off the stick. Definitely take that one away. Still battling a neutral ice. That's taken away from him. Griffin takes that back. Cloquet covers up. Brecken stick lifted there. Couldn't get it in. Cloquet will dump it down into the zone. Matt from the corner. Backhands one. Gives it away. Still possession. Bottom of the circle. Gray battling there. Forces his man up against the wall. Jacks around behind, near side corner, up to the point, held in. They walk back down into the corner there. Sent out front, that skips off a stick, that goes over the defenseman's stick. Brecken able to chip this one ahead into the zone. That's not going to make it for icing. Dumped in, Matt has possession in the circle. He covers around behind the net, stops. Up to Gray on the half wall. Gray chips off the glass. Gets to Griffin. Griffin runs into a man, takes him out as he goes. Puck bouncing free. And sent rank wide, and Cloquet will start back into the zone. Poke checked away there. Puck picked up again. Poke check from Matt once more. Cloquet has possession now, walking off the half wall. Shot, glove save from Jace. Puck bounces into the corner. On the half wall. Matt battling, gets tangled up. He's gonna get called for a hook. So 10:33 left in the third period. Rails go back down a man. Minor penalty to Matt for hooking. Tackling on the defensive zone draw. Won by the Jacks. They go D to D on this. Near side point. Sent right back to the other side. Walks down into the circle. Shot off the post. It's under Jace. Still loose, and rebound, they score. Power play goal. Power play goal. Jacks extend their lead to 4. 10:21 left in the third period. Jacks win this draw. They're down into the zone. Hook checked away by Miles. He's able to go to Will. Backhand up. Bria just gets inside the zone. Fires that one wide of the net. Jacks pick it up in the corner. Rake wide pass off of Bria's skate right to a Jacks player. They push it ahead into the zone. Garrett takes it away. Tries to chip it off the wall. Jacks intercept. Puck in the near side corner. Lumberjacks with possession. Tried to send it out front. Garrett will take that away. Sends it ahead. Off a stick. Held in at the point. Down the far side wall. Net side. Out to the slot. Shot. Saved. Jace finds that one and covers up. 9:32 left in the third period. Rails still treating by a score of 5-1. We have a defensive zone draw here after the line change. Jacks win this draw. Into the corner with it. Half wall. Gray knocked off the puck there. Brecken trying to protect. Gray picks it up. He's tripped in the corner. No call. Sent. Kick save off the goaltender. It's cleared to Will, who's able to get it out to Brecken. Brecken and Bria down into the slot. Brecken able to get his stick free. Up to the point. Matt has possession. He'll fire a shot. That goes off the stick and off the glass on the end wall. Tony tries to center. Still battling for possession there. It's off our body, and Cloquet starts back out. Cloquet gets to the zone, dumps it into behind the net. Gray picks this one up, chips it off the near side wall. Bria the first one on it there. Takes her man into the wall, still battling for it on the half wall. Able to get it ahead to the point, not out. Bria still trying to force the puck out there. Cloquet will start back into the zone. They go rink wide. Top of the circle. Blocked into the netting. .8:15 left in the third period. Defensive zone drop for the Rails. Jacks have possession off the drop. Drop to the point. Walks in. Shot from the dot. That's blocked. Get a body out front somewhere. Back in. Shot from the bottom of the circle there. Blocked by Garrett. Jacks still with possession in the corner. Near side corner now. And the net came loose, so we're going to reset the net. And defensive zone draw here for the Rails. 7:48 left in the third. Declan wins this back to Garrett. Puck in the corner. Declan's still battling for it. To the slot. Back to the near side corner. Up front, intercepted by Declan. Chipped off the near side wall. Possession Jacks. Sends this out front, tipped wide. From the point. Shot, blocked. Kick save. Puck still squirting loose. Jace able to finally find it. He covers up. Line change for the Rails. 7:10 left in the third. Brecken wins this one over to Matt. Matt circles behind the net, sends it ahead. That was behind Griff. Partial block out front, puck taken away, save from Jace. That goes off of him and in. From behind the net, Jace hadn't gotten back to his post. It bounced it off his pad and into the net. And with that, Cloquet's lead is now 6-1. Offensive or neutral zone draw won by the Lumberjacks. Bottom of the circle here. Shot, short side, save from Jace. Comes back up, Will intercepts, and he's out of the zone. Lumberjacks from their own side. Into the zone, chipped in. Around behind. Centering. Good break up there from Grays. He got back just in time. Brecken, rink wide, just off of Will's stick. Does get out of the zone though. Will unable to chip it past, and the Jacks are back in. Chipped into the corner. Gray battling for it in behind. Matt joins the fray. Puck ends up in behind the net. Sent out front. Steps into it. Shot tipped wide. Matt now picks it up in the corner and starts back out. Matt 1-on-3 as he gets to the blue line. He'll just dump it in. Looking for a line change. Poke check is into the zone. Cloquet still maintains possession though. Taken away by Declan down into the corner. Cloquet with it again. Up front. Puck loose. Saved by Jace. He finds it, covers up. 6:15. We're going to run a little bit of time off the clock, maybe. 6:14 left in the third period. Rails trailing by 5. Defensive zone draw here. Jacks win this draw. Battling for it on the half wall. Declan walks away with it. Gets it ahead to Bria, and Bria's able to get out of the zone. Bria just across the red line dumps this in. That'll end up trickling in on net. Jack's goaltender tried to play it. Held on to it just too long, so we're going to get an offensive zone draw for the Rails at 5:55 left in the third. Jacks win this draw as well. They'll retreat back on their own end. Rink wide pass connects to the blue line. Chipped ahead. They're into the zone. 1-on-0. Miles trying to recover. Shot. Glove saved and held onto by Chase. Cool under pressure on that 1-on-0. Jackson this one. Shot. Blocker save from Jace. Garrett now has it in the corner. Chips it in behind. Miles a good chase. They're rolled off the end of his stick. And Cloquet forces it back in the corner. Puck still in the corner. Rhea on the half wall sends it ahead. That skitters out. Tony unable to win the race there. Jack's circle and dump it right back into the zone. Miles tries to sauce one rink wide. That gets out of the zone, but the Jacks have possession. They just dump it right back in. Wide of the net. Garrett up the wall. Tony fanned on the chip ahead. Garrett again behind the net. Puck squirts free on the half wall. Declan's going to circle in behind his own net. Hard off the wall. Gets the puck out of the zone. Tony able to take that away. Kicks it ahead. Skate the stick. He's into the zone. Down in the circle. Poke check from behind. Does put the puck in on net. And with that, we'll get an offensive zone draw. 4:18 left in the third. Brecken on the offensive zone draw. That's one back in the corner by the Jacks. Puck squirts out. That's still in behind the net. Max battling for it there in the corner. Puck comes out front. Will with a shot off the goaltender. He'll send it in behind. Chipped off the glass. Gray steps up. Skate holds the zone. Chips it off the wall. Will able to pick that one up. Down to the corner for Brecken. Brecken around behind. Up to Matt at the point. Matt chips it back down to Brecken. Brecken centers it. Puck still loose. Brecken now gets the puck back off a body. Will shovels this one in on net. Cloquet goaltender able to find it and cover up. 3:28 left in the third period. That was the best sign of life we've seen from the Rails on an offensive possession. Brecken on the draw here, over to Max. Cloquet takes it away and they start out. Down through neutral ice. Matt takes the puck away, chips this ahead, does get out of the zone. Cloquet will be forced to touch up. Off the sidewall, chipped ahead. Matt steps up at the blue line, just disrupts but can't clear the zone. Cloquet down, bottom of the circle, backhand shot. Matt takes the puck away there, battling forward and behind the net, sends it to the near side corner. Cloquet now out to the slot, puck's bouncing around. Sent back to the point. Rink wide, misses everybody into the far corner. Centering attempt, doesn't quite make it. Sent out front. Kick save and smothered by Jace. We're going to get a defensive zone draw. 2:27 left in the third. Declan wins the draw over to Miles. Chips it ahead. Tony able to get it out of the zone. Cloquet picks this up in their own end. We'll circle up the middle. Shot from the blue line. Blocker to side by Jace. Battling for it in the corner. Declan takes that away. He's stripped of the puck. Down into the slot. Hands it off. Shot from the dot. That's blocked. That's deflected wide of the net. Griff now has it on the half wall. He'll step ahead. Cloquet's defense is changing, so they're out of the zone. Up ahead, strip of the puck before he can get in. Declan picks this up in the neutral zone. He'll circle, take a look, just dump it down into the corner. Tony in behind, tries to disrupt. Cloquet starts back out. Shot from outside the blue line, stick to side by Jace. Garrett around the near side wall. Miles fans on the clearing attempt. Does get it ahead to Declan, who's able to force it out of the zone. Cloquet touches back up. Battling to get inside the zone. Puck loose, chipped ahead. 1 minute, 1:09. With that whistle, 1:04 left in the third period, 1:03. Neutral zone draw on the offsides call, and Rails trail by 5. Cloquet wins the draw, pokes it into the zone. Gray tries to clear, it does get it out. Cloquet 1-on-3 down in the circle. Partial block. Puck does end up on net. Save from Jace. He'll cover. 44.9 left on the clock. Cloquet wins the draw. Down into the corner. Run behind. Brecken has it there in the corner. He gets it back, starts out of the zone. Wrecking through neutral ice into the offensive zone through 2 players. Still has possession in the far circle. Tries the center. That goes off a shin pad. Cloquet ships it off the near side wall. They have possession. Dump it out of the zone. Matt chips this one. Skates a stick. He'll go behind the net. Stops. Reverses. Starts back the other way. Ahead to Will. Will circles back in behind. Sends it back ahead to Matt. And Matt will end the game. Well, that ends the game. Rails falling to Cloquet 6-1. Total shots for Cloquet 16 for a game save total of 10 for Jace. Total shots for the Rails 6, which I believe is incorrect because that was the total at the end of the second period. So that will be at least a couple shots on net for the Rails this game, or this third period. Rails are going to be back in action with a surprise game on Sunday night, 5:30, where we will face off against, in a non-conference game, added game to the schedule, Duluth East.